2024. Dare to lead different. Dare to think different. This upcoming year need leaders like you. Leaders who will take a stand. Leaders who will make an impact. And leaders who will make a difference. My name is Nhlaka Hadebe, and welcome to All Things Leadership Podcast. First, I'd like to thank you for your tremendous support for this channel. If you haven't liked it yet, please press like, press subscribe, comment, and let us know what you think about our content. I'd like us to reflect back and take some key principles from every episode that we've ever shot on this channel. Don't worry, we've only interviewed about 6 people. So we're going to take a snippet and check out on number 6, Zwe Sokela, where he speaks about believing in young people, because a lot of people have lost hope on the young people.
So I work with the Foxfire Abandabasha who finished matric or university who wants to give a year to serve God. And into esiyenzayo is just to disciple them to be leaders. That's in short.
You disciple them to be leaders.
We disciple them to be leaders. What we believe is that the young people we work with are your next professionals,
Yes.
are your next mothers, are your next fathers. So if you give them values, as in their walk with God, you can see if you give values is wherever you are a leader.
Mm-hmm.
You're leading yourself and those that are following you.
Mm.
And also leadership is not a position, it's a lifestyle. In the if you are given a leadership position, it's just a delegation of authority for people to follow. But in this way, recognize is your lifestyle, which is a leader. That's something that we are teaching these young people.
So you said leadership authority is?
So leadership position is a delegation of authority.
Ooh.
So that you can operate and people to respond to that authority.
What is one common struggle that you see with young people?
Sure.
What is one thing that people in Swaziland, in Lesotho, in South Africa, in the suburb, in the township, in the rural areas,
Sure.
What is one common thing that young people really struggle with, and how can we intervene in that thing?
Sure. The one big thing, Clara, is everywhere you go, young people have been labeled. Uguti, abalaleli. There's many words that we use to describe them. And the challenge, they just need that one person who believes in them, that one person who will sit them down and try and find out who they are. Because most of them, but a defense mechanism as if all of us, we are against them. But the moment they see that you have an interest in their lives, then they can open up to you. So they just need that one person who can pay attention to who they are and help them to open up so that you can help to guide, because they need the guidance.
Do you ever wonder how you could change and transform culture in an organization or in leadership? Please check out Freedom Zimande as he speaks about the principles that we need to apply to change culture.
You must understand, Guti, when you go and take over a team, it's a company, it is a school, it can be a church, wherever you're going.
Yeah.
People don't always leave. I remember, before I give you a few things, we were watching this video because it happened that someone, in the last day, we had over the leadership. Someone was videoizing, and we didn't even ask that person to videoize.
Yeah.
So they sent us the video of our last day leading that specific team. during that season. So as soon as they mentioned that I was leaving that space, so there's a new leadership coming in. I was so shocked to see 3 people celebrating that I'm leaving. Do you know how painful that thing was? Knowing that person was celebrating that he's leaving. I'm like, I'm glad I saw it now after maybe few years down the line, because if I saw it, maybe it was gonna kill me.
Yeah.
So anyways, people don't always leave. So what I've learned, I'm also writing a book on this.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm gonna come back and talk about the book here on this podcast, because it's the best podcast we've got in the country.
Come on.
Yeah, so people do. For me, I've learned about 3 things. You know, so you're gonna call the whole thing in the book, but let me give you a summary. People, when we arrive, we're gonna have people that leave, and we're gonna have people that stays. And there's 2 groups that stays. The first group that stays, people that believes in your leadership as you arrive. That they understand that there's always a change in everything that we do.
Yeah.
So that means we're gonna support this leadership.
Yeah.
And there's another group of people that stays, but they don't believe in you.
Yeah.
They stays for many reasons, but one of them like we wanna see some small.
Yes.
But the group that left, you don't have to bang yourself out when we shy, we're trying to chase them. Let them go.
Sure.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And you can't running around trying to chase them,
Yeah.
because you're gonna miss the guys that believes in you.
Yes.
So you need to invest more to these people that believes in you
Yeah.
in the space that we call. And the group warriors, you know, we born out abang. You can't also run around trying to make them love you.
Yes.
Share the vision. Love them, but invest in these ones. So when these ones get the heart, your heart, they're gonna impact these guys.
Yes.
Because if these guys, that believes in you, they are not being cared for,
Yeah.
they're gonna end up like these guys. So the 4th group that coming, of which they're gonna come and join this company, they'll come and join this organization. They're gonna arrive knowing there's people that left here. There's also people, 2 group of people. These ones, they used to believe in this guy, but now this guy never cared for these guys.
Yo.
And then now they're all, so now the 4th group that coming from outside, everything become a mess. But if you take care of these guys, invest in them, they're going to influence these guys. So when the other you guys that are coming and join this company or this organization, they find a healthy space. That's what I'm saying. So for me, I've learned that I can't chase people I can just love them there and say hi, you know. And then because people, they resist change. Human people, they resist change. People, they don't need to change. Yeah. They want a comfortable space. They prefer different leadership and different songs, different everything. It's about I prefer that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A lot of people are living outside their calling. A lot of people are dragged by different people, and they do not have necessarily the right direction. So please check out Jay Menachem as he speaks about living within your calling as a leader.
So for those that are listening, actually you don't have to be the whole of Africa or the whole world. That's the toughest part when it comes to leadership. It's being authentic, it's being yourself, believing in what you stand for. The reason why I protect this integrity is because it was very difficult for me to study and to earn a position recognized at the provincial government and to be able to stand my ground. I had great opportunities. I worked at the Premier's office where we put a plan for the province, and it was called the Youth Ambassadors Program. I worked very closely with our current MEC from Department of Health, Nomo Hubu. And I've learned a lot. I appreciated every opportunity government has given me, even to represent the country abroad. And I'm not saying all negative things when it comes to government, but the toughest thing that I had to face was, of course, the pressure of going into corruption.
Leading through crisis can be very daunting. It can be very difficult. But Tristan Kern shares some key thoughts and some key skills that he applied when crisis hit in the organization that he was part of. Please check him out.
COVID, was hectic. I think was one of the things that was happening at the time, and I know we're going to talk about this later, but it does form part of the story. My wife and I felt called to go plant a church in Dublin in 2019 in Ireland.
Yeah.
And that's where our focus was going to be. We're going to lead the creative team remotely. We're going to go start plant it. And then obviously March comes around, was actually near my birthday when the president begins to speak. But we had already actually started thinking about what would happen if COVID hit. So I don't know if Grant would like to admit this, but 2 months, actually in January, I started to say, hey, Grant, this thing is coming, and I think we just need some thoughts around it. So we had actually put together a contingency plan in early March already. If this happens, this is what will happen, and this is what we'll go. We still didn't think it would happen.
Prepared for crisis.
Yeah, and I think it's prepared for crisis. And you know what? You can't always be in a state of preparing for crisis. You can't always be in that level. But part of us as a people is to be a prophetic people. And prophetic people is just saying, hey, I see this thing coming. And you know what? It might not come here, but if it did, what would we do? What is the strategy? And there were broad strokes. I'm not saying we had a detailed plan. And I think also to be happy with the disruption happening this side of the world. So actually just saying, hey, listen, I have a dream, but I'm going to put those dreams on hold. And actually, this is what the church needs. I'm a pastor, I'm a creative leader. This is what the church needs at the moment. And actually laying those things down and going into full strategy mode. So it was a huge disruption, but I'm very glad for. I think one of the strengths of Grant that's really amazing is that anyone who's been around him will know he's an over communicator. The guy communicates all the time. And what you need most of all in a place of crisis is a leader that communicates, not just sometime, not just half the time, all the time. And I think many people don't underestimate how much people need to hear vision, leadership, detail, communication. And so 2020 happened and we moved in with Grant and some other creative guys into a big house so we could be locked down together. And I think we must have produced, 2 videos a day in varying lengths, some a preach, some half an hour podcasts. We were doing Instagram live. And but it was a learning curve. That's all I can say. It was, I still feel the after effects of that. Sometimes I still wake up hearing the president's lockdown message in my mind.
Next is an incredible man who is a musician who gathers people from different places and put them together to do music together. Please check out the episode of Football By as he shares on leadership insight in the music industry. So you have this dream, you register a company, but how do you gather people?
Gathering people, man. I think that was the hardest part because I've changed teams for good and for bad reasons. I mean, we tried to work with people, it didn't work out. Some people had to leave for school, for work, Some people were called in for that project, But gathering people, I think the hardest part for me is selling the vision to them. Because if I'm saying, Mfundisi Nhlaka, I need you to come on this day, it's their time. So they need to find value. And should I leave everything on that day and come and do this? So for me, it has always been a matter of, can I sell my vision such that it's easy for me to just make a phone call and everyone is going to come. So I sold.
But how do you do that?
Obviously.
So we're meeting for the first time.
If we meet
hear
for the
what's
first
me
time,
now, I can sing, ne?
Yeah.
So what's the conversation?
So what I did, I looked for specific individuals, like the band. I had friends who could play. Some because when it comes to the work that I wanted to do, my friends were not part of the puzzle. So I had to go look for other individuals to say, hey, look, dude, you've got the skill, you've got the personality, you've got this and that. I would like you to come and work with me. This is what I have. and they'll tell me, because of the vision, most of the guys that I work with have said, because of the vision, I'm going to commit. So for me, gathering people is not too much of hard work because I've sold them the vision. So a lot of people are just a phone call away. Even the others, like even if I need ushers, I just talk to my team. They will run with it because my team has got the vision, so it's easier for them to gather other people. But in the first few years, starting out, it was a bit of a struggle because I didn't have any record, I hadn't produced any music. So if you're going to tell somebody, I want you to come and work with me, like, who are you, what do you do? It was a bit of a struggle. Yeah, so I think the best way for me was to just sell the vision. Wherever you go to, tell them, this is what I do, this is what I wanted to do, and this is how I want it to be done, and I need abantu abakanje ngicabanga ukuthi ungakwazi.
Wow.
So I've trusted the vision to do the work for me.
Have you ever been disappointed? Especially by the people who are the closest to you? Please check out Bab Zulu's episode where he speaks about how to deal with disappointment.
People will always let you down because people are people.
So we need to settle that.
I think we need to settle that.
People will always let you down.
Will always let you down. And most times it's not deliberate. Like, for instance, you communicate something and people don't turn up. And then you ask, why didn't you come? I forgot. I actually didn't. There will always be excuses. And so you need to be able to even remind people, do you remember that there's a certain appointment that we have? And so you need to be kind of like, be forward. And make sure that, you see, once you know, there are people that will not disappoint you.
Yes.
They are always there in time. When you ask them, you don't have to say it a second time. But there are people that you actually need to say it 10 times before they can actually pick it up. I think the important thing also is to be able to speak to people. Speak to them. If somebody has disappointed you, say your disappointment. And tell them the reason why you're doing that, because you are building them up. It's for their sake, because one day they will be leaders. And so that needs to be communicated well with the people.
We have had the most amazing year this year. Please let us know which one of these episodes were most impactful to you in the comments below. And let us know which some of the leaders that you would like us to engage with in the upcoming future. I had this dream to start a leadership podcast the previous year, but I had excuses, valid excuses, because I had lack of equipment. I did not have space to fill them in. Till the last week of October, I had this thought that says, a seed remains a seed until it's planted. A dream remains a dream until it's acted upon or executed. From that day, I decided that I'm going to film this podcast at home. Right now, it's being filmed in our living room. Why? Because you can start from where you are and you don't have to start perfect. It's important that you start from where you are and you improve as the time goes by. But I'd like to say thank you so much for watching all our episodes. We believe that every believer is a leader. Because you believe, my friend, you are a leader. We thank you. Have a lovely end of 2023. We'll see you next year in 2024. Danko.